Well, hello there. And of course, remember, there are various ways in which you can interact with us on the show. Typically, we talk about relationships. We'll be doing the same thing tonight. And we ask that if you have anything that's shady that's going on in your relationship that you need a second or maybe a third opinion on, this is the platform you send it to. And this is the platform where we share our opinions really and truly about, what may be going on in your life. Now, if you have something to share, here's what you need to do. We have a WhatsApp number that you can send your comments to, 054-998-6996, or send a text, an email to jessica@cityfmonline.com. Better yet, send us a DM on Facebook. Search for Sister Live and join our growing community. Like the page, okay? Right, so with me today, of course, my sisters are here, and I probably need a drum roll for this one. The latest, the one and only Mrs. Tina Opari Safuro. No kidding. Congratulations. Let's see the ring. Please, can the camera zoom in on this? Yeah, Tina left the show as a single lady, came back married to nobody else but my brother.
I know.
How did that even happen? How did that even happen?
Well, you made it happen.
Oh, well, I mean.
Yeah.
Of course. So congrats. You see your ring.
You.
It's shiny.
Thank you.
It's shiny, like that.
And she's also glowing, shining.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm fine, thank
Have you enjoyed your honeymoon?
No, as for the honey, I've eaten it a long time.
Okay. So now it's left with the moon. Enjoy.
We're still
mooning.
We're still mooning.
Good.
Yeah, and it's exciting actually experiencing so many different things, and it's different. Legal everything.
Yeah, everything is legal
everything
now.
is legal. Yeah, and your advice, really, the sisters have really supported me. So thank you so much to all of you. Thank you, and thank you to you.
Yes. You have to say it again.
No,
My bro.
okay. Thank you to Jessica for making this happen.
Yeah, giving you my star brother.
Because Charlie, okay, I'll just leave it. Yeah.
Me, you know what I'm actually excited about, ladies?
No.
The fact that she now has my surname.
I didn't know that she wanted a partner.
Yeah, anyway, we'll talk about the rest of it. So yeah, Tina, it's good to see you and good to have you back.
Thank you.
Apioka is here.
Yes,
Superstar, a Matrix verse, author extraordinaire. Oh, Charlie.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm
Well
still
done.
taking it all in. I'm still taking it all in.
Well done.
And we're already best new seller on Amazon.
Wow. Well done.
Imagine
Well
that,
done.
Know.
Well done.
May the bucks roll in for you.
Amen.
It should
Leaps
come.
and bounds.
If I had known, I'd have written a long time ago.
I know. And for those of you who didn't know, you should check out the Matriarch's Verse. It's Apioko's latest book. It's a book of poems and some really exciting stuff in there. Trust me. You can go to Amazon, look for it, and support a Ghanaian author. Yeah? All right. So
I've not done
Rosina's
anything.
here. You haven't done anything?
No.
Let me
Are
see.
you
You,
sure?
Crow, what
There's
can I
nothing
say
going on
about
in my
you?
life.
Are
No,
you
there's
sure?
nothing.
Plenty things.
It's just the same Dante and Danica
Biker
their
girl.
best.
And Biker Girls GH.
Biker girl.
Yeah, I
Yes.
forgot.
Charlie.
Biker extraordinaire.
Yeah.
I forgot.
If you ride a motorcycle more than Rosina does,
Charlie.
you'll be arrested in Ghana.
Charlie.
Big woman. Yeah, we'll tell you about that too later. But for now, let's go right into action. People are waiting to hear their comments being read. So Desmond from Jolu says, "Hello, sisters. My girlfriend can't cook. Not to sound stereotypical, but I feel when it comes to cooking, every lady at least has to know her way around a few things in the kitchen. I tried indirectly to pick her mind about this, and her response was, quote unquote, no one is responsible for cooking in marriage. You fix yourself something to eat if you're hungry.
Yeah, so.
End of quote. I'm a good cook, though, and I wouldn't mind cooking sometimes when the need be. But this got me thinking for a while. Do I really want to be in such a marriage in future? I don't think so. But I do love her so much. I don't want to be blunt and tell her what I think about this because I know she'll blow it out of proportion. Help, sisters. Desmond Jolu." The married people talk. Eh? How important is this cooking
So-
matter?
Can I start?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I'm glad you ended this text or message with a question. And you're saying that you're not sure whether you can live with someone, be married to someone who is not interested in cooking. That's an important question to ask yourself. And it's an even more important, again, conversation to have with this woman. If she'll blow it out of proportion, then it means you're not on the same page. And you see, something as simple as cooking. We've seen people get divorced over who squeezes the toothpaste from the middle of the tube and the end. It may seem like something trivial, but it could be the bane of your marriage. Now, you say you think every lady should at least know her way around the kitchen. Every human being needs to eat. So if you know how to cook and you're not willing to take up that responsibility or pay someone to do it in your home, then again, you need to be questioning who you're marrying. Human beings are different. Some women tend to be very domestic by nature. Others, if you have choleric in you like me or Tina, Charlie, some certain things just don't come naturally. I love to cook, but I don't have the time. Look at how many hours we spend here at City. Even on weekends, we're here. Yeah. So now what I do is, if I can't meal prep, I have someone who cooks. She comes in, I give her the list, whatever. I supervise when I can, and then we put it in the freezer and we eat.
Right.
If you're the type who likes fresh meals every day, then my home is not for you.
But your husband understands.
Yes,
right?
of course.
That's
To the
all that
extent where
matters.
even when, and he has he's busy too, but a bit more of leeway. So typically on a working day, he will go to the gym after work and then we would meet up afterwards. His first question is always, what do you want to eat? Because he knows that he has a bit of time on his hands. So even if he can't cook, we're either doing takeout or we know that when we get home or we've called whoever is at home to heat the food and then we eat it together. There are some people who want fresh meals every day and they don't want to compromise on that. Then you need to either find someone who is being a chef or a cook for you, or you're marrying someone who has that time. It seems like a trivial thing again, but it's a very serious issue. But what you shouldn't do is impose this thing on a woman.
Right.
On the flip side though, once you get into a marriage, it's not just about you anymore. So your girlfriend, if she's going to become your wife, also needs to understand that if feeding you is an important thing to you, then she's going to have to make some compromises because you're running a home. It's not just about going, chilling, hanging out at work, and then you come back now and then we go to bed. You're running a home that people must be fed. Right. Children will come. They need to eat. Your home needs to be clean, put together. If you can't do it yourself, then take the initiative and make sure that there are measures in place so that everybody is comfortable.
Yeah.
So this guy, there are also some men who will say, I don't want anybody to cook my food. Then, Charlie, that is another problem issue, altogether. Yeah. So they need to have all these conversations, see where everybody is at. But I want him to understand that not every woman is as domestic as we've painted the picture. There's some women who cook, but their cooking is not nice. And you will be married to the person, you can never say it because you don't want to hurt her feelings. Yeah. She will know her way around it. She knows how to chop the onions. The stew is made, but it's not nice. Charlie. Or you run. And it's not and it's not her fault because cooking is an art. Yeah. It also comes with a certain set of skills. So really just have the conversation and don't come from an attacking standpoint. That's when I'm sure she'll blow it out of proportion. Sit down with her and let her know that, look, if we're looking to get into marriage, this is something that is important to me. I don't want to make you do anything that you're not comfortable doing. How can we meet each other halfway? And I think we can have somewhere to go from there.
Right.
So I basically think that when you're dating and you start talking about marriage, it could be one of two things. Either initial stages in the dating process, or maybe you're now seriously getting into that zone where you're getting married. I don't know which stage they are at right now. But I remember for me, even when we were serious, I would make it a point not to cook.
Exactly.
Okay, I will make it a point so that he knows that I am not a wife. I will cook when I want to cook so that the two of us will eat. Exactly. But not because he has said he wants to eat. If you understand what's right. So some women just don't want to play wife material before they are wives. So before then, and which is a good idea, so that you don't get into that whole space where you think that you are already married and then, Charlie, if something happens, you can't even, disassociate yourself from. So for me, that's what happened. Naturally, I am somebody who likes to cook. But for some reason, I think mine was a whole, I want to make a point and a conscious effort not to cook. It was rebellious. Like, I just wanted to show you that, listen, I'm not your wife. I'm not your wife. I don't know what I wanted to prove at that time, but
At least now you got the ring.
but the thing is, you need to know as a person what you can't live without and what you can't.
You can compromise.
Yeah,
basically.
like if you can't live with a person who won't cook, that is something that you can't compromise on or with. So you have to take a second look at it.
Right.
Now, my thing too is that I don't think there's anybody, even the laziest person, who would say they don't know how to cook. They can put something together and eat and survive. As Apioko said, women can put things together, but it's not necessarily edible or like tasty. You understand? So if you know how to cook, and the lady's stance is that, if you're hungry, go and cook something for yourself. It could be that she's just being rebellious around that time, or it could be that she still hasn't gotten a wind of where you guys are at right now. Some people in their minds, they don't feel like this is a serious relationship.
Right.
I'm just, we are still there. When you get into the marriage, or when you're getting married, and when everything becomes real,
Right.
I don't think she would talk the same way she talks. But it's also good to have the conversation to let her know that, listen, I don't mind that you don't know how to cook, and I don't mind that this and that, but I think that you making sure that there's food at home is something that I would like to have.
Right.
So you lay your cards on the table and let her know, especially if the relationship is getting very serious, you need to let her know what your concerns are. Put it on the table and let her know that you can't compromise on this. So however she wants to deal with it, I'm sure when you deal with it in a very serious manner, she would not give you the same answer, like throw the answer about the way she did.
Right.
So approach it again from a different angle. Let her know how serious you are and tell her how dear it is to your heart.
Yeah.
And then maybe you can take it from there.
All right, Rosie.
I'm more inclined towards Tina, because we also have the flip side where we have women, when they are dating, they go all out. They'll wash your clothes, they'll cook a storm for you, they'll buy food products for your prospective mother-in-law. They want to be your besties with, their prospective husband's siblings and things like that. Only for them to get married, and then after they can't be bothered. And then they're not cooking, and the man says, you have changed. Look, I have a feeling, did the man say that the woman cannot cook or won't cook?
He said she cannot cook.
Because
She said, I don't think she said she can't cook, but she says no one is responsible for cooking in marriage. You fix yourself something to eat.
exactly. So I don't
So
think
she can
the problem is that she cannot cook. The problem is that she won't cook. Like Tina said, she's trying to say, look, we are only dating. We haven't decided where we are heading to yet. Why should I be responsible for your stomach? Same way, so we'll sit here and say that if you're not married or anything, the man is not entirely responsible for your financial needs. You're also your own person. He's also his own person. So I have a feeling that it's just a rebellious state, or maybe she doesn't want a situation where they are married, she can't cook every day, and then it becomes an issue. Like, why are you not cooking every day? Why are you not doing this? Or you've changed. You used to cook this for me and now you don't do it again. Then it becomes a deal breaker. I think that she just wants to see how things pan out. She probably wants a man who is more supportive, in the sense that, look, there may be days, she's in the media or she works, in certain places that she may not be able to make it to the house every day, say 4 or 5 to plan for the evening. She needs somebody who would be able to probably feed himself.
Right.
Because I'm not around, I need to work. Or I'm out of the country for a week, or I've gone somewhere for here or something like that. But if she gives that she starts with the posture of I can cook, I will cook for you on demand as and when. Then when you get married, you're actually expecting more.
Right.
Because now that you've paid the bride price, no, you want her to really you understand? So she doesn't want that. So I think that she doesn't want to set herself up for some kind of a disaster after she gets married. So I think that the conversation should not go around, oh, cook for me, cook for me, cook for me. Just let her know that, you know what, as much as, I know how to cook. So I can actually cook for both of us. But it would be nice to have a woman who also knows how to cook. Because sometimes I really want to eat something made by somebody else, not me. And it would be nice. So you just want to know why she doesn't want to cook. You don't have a point she doesn't, but you want to know why she doesn't want to cook. Is it because she doesn't know how to, because she doesn't want to, or because she thinks the time is not right? If you ask her well, she'll probably let you know that, look, you know what, it's not like I don't know how to cook. But I don't want you to think that I'm becoming your wife to be your personal chef. Then you know where you stand. But if you are just, I'm hungry, what are we eating? So you can't cook for me. If you're going along those lines, that's why I should give you that response. Like, look, hey, Abrante, if you're hungry, you eat.
Yeah.
If I'm hungry, I also eat. So each man to himself, God for us all. So what's up? So I think that you should just take your time, communicate properly. Let her know what a cooking woman means to you, but not necessarily a force to do it now because you're not married.
Plus, if she doesn't know how to cook, she can always learn. I mean, gone are the days when some of us were growing up. If your mother doesn't teach you how to cook, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble, yeah.
You know, but now you can go to Instagram, you can go on YouTube. There's so many videos and just like explore.
Yeah, and even me, you know, when growing up, my dad's eating was one way. Banku. If he doesn't eat the banku okro, banku pamno, banku akpadechi, he'll tell you that the whole day he hasn't eaten anything.
Aye.
So his eating was very one way. And those times, what your father eats is what the whole house eats.
Yeah.
So my eating was very much narrowed. But growing up, I've learned how to
Make other
prepare
stuff.
foods that I didn't eat when I was young. I tasted it along the line. I enjoyed it, and I learned how to make it. So really, cooking is not something that it's not rocket science. It keeps changing, and you know, I mean, right now there are so many channels. I mean, you can even go onto the internet and just how to make the steps are there and everything.
Charlie?
Just don't go okra soup. What they'll give you is not correct.
I know.
Come to my house. Let me do it for you.
Tina, tell them about my jollof.
Okay.
Never mind. Anyway, it's Sister on City TV and 97.3 City FM. And we're still having conversations about some of the messages you send in. Your comments are welcome on 054-998-6996. I mean, how big of a deal is it to you that perhaps your partner you're about to marry, in this case, maybe the woman you're about to marry, cannot cook? All right. Anyway, so let's move on. One says, sisters, I've been dating this Eba girl for 3 years, 5 months now. She's 5 months pregnant for me, and I had my family move forward because I wanted to marry her. I was charged 5,000 cedis for Kwasiebuo. My family paid, and I want the list to marry her, but her family are bent on not allowing me to marry her. I was told the money collected was to push me away from marrying her, but I paid it. They still don't want me to marry her. I was informed of a certain medication that was to be administered to her, and I confronted her mom about it. It turned out to be medication that will cause a miscarriage.
Oh.
Since finding out, all communication to the lady and family has been blocked, and I'm not allowed to see her. What do I do now? Because I really want her, and I want to marry her.
My question is, what's the woman saying in all this?
Doesn't seem like she has a voice of her own.
Yeah.
So they essentially put it at 5K. So like he won't be able to pay, and then they'll do yiddy. And now he's paid. Charlie. I don't know.
So well, from my side, what I will say is that normally the relationship, even though it's when it gets very serious and you're going to get married and all that, and there's pregnancy, families matter. The two of you matter. Most. So if the two of you agree that you're going to do this and you're in this together, it makes it doesn't make it easy, but it makes it easier, relatively easier for you to navigate the waters. But if the lady doesn't have a mind of her own, a voice of her own, and she's probably not sure. Dating you for 3 years, she should have been sure by now. Because then she knows, and she's 5 months pregnant. Well, I don't know. I'm a bit confused because if I knew where the lady's mind was at or is at right now, then it would be easier for me to tell you that, listen, you can wait it out till you are ready. The lady is going to have that baby. Take care of her, do your responsibilities towards her. Still try along the way and be going to the family and be finding out what you can do till such a time where she gives birth, and then you can do whatever. But now you don't know why you're being pushed away from the family. You don't sound like a financially unstable guy because they said 5,000.
Yeah, that's a whole lot.
5,000 cedis, and you paid it because you really want
this,
the lady. Now, what's the lady doing about it? And you can't even get in touch with her, neither with her family members. It sounds very, but I'll say the little I'll add to it is the fact that they are trying to terminate the baby.
That's wrong.
Yes, that's very wrong. But I don't know what the laws of the country say because it's her body. So if she's in on it, and right now, if she's in on it and she wants that to happen to her, I don't know what where your say gets to. Do you understand? You can't sue anybody.
Abortion is illegal, and if you're going to do any kind of an abortion that within the rights framework, safe space, it should be not beyond 12 weeks, which is 3 months anyway.
But what if they can prove like they can come up with some medical something that she needs to abort the baby?
They wouldn't be buying medicine over the counter in the first place. You know what I mean?
So whatever it is, I don't know if it's allowed to press charges, then go ahead and do so.
Like involve the police?
Because I don't know what the law says about
They
that.
say the baby's not yours.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
I was
right
coming
now,
to you.
what if the baby's not yours?
I want to attack it on a different wait, actually.
Okay, yeah.
So I should go first.
She doesn't even know when to talk about.
Okay, I can. Look,
Drop
you know
it,
what?
drop it.
No, not to drop it. You see, sometimes certain messages are coded. Behind those messages are the real messages. Now, she's been dating you for 3 years, 5 months. In those 3 years, are you trying to tell me that the parents never knew that she was dating him? The parents never raised the concern that, I don't like the man you're with. And you know, when I'm dating you or when you're dating me and our parents don't like our vibe, so far as I am serious about it, I would let the other guy know. Actually, so at the point that they were charging the 5,000,
Where was she?
Where was she? Did she not know that the reason that they are charging the 5,000 is to discourage him?
Yeah.
If she truly was into the man, she should have told the man that, tell him, my guy, this money, don't pay it. This is the reason behind. And that's somebody who is in the same boat with you. Yeah. But for her to sit down and allow you to pay the 5,000, now they don't want her. Look, if you have the comfy to date somebody, look, if your parents are so they are so strict and you're so scared of them, you won't carry a pregnancy for 5 months before telling them. Or you'll be comfortable carrying for 5 months. If they can have such a telling control over your life, you will not wait till 5 months. You probably want to, as soon as you got pregnant, you tell the guy that, Charlie, I'm pregnant. If my dad finds out, if my mom finds out, there'll be hell, there'll be this, there'll be that. Charlie, let's find ways and means of terminating it. But you're okay with it. Because you probably felt everything will be okay. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. One of two things. Either one, they probably feel that she's deserving of somebody better than who she's with. And the girl has probably met somebody else who is probably giving more money to the family, to her, to everybody. So even though the girl probably feels like this guy is...
pregnant state.
Hold on. This girl feels that this guy is a good guy. I can't be the one breaking up with the guy. So they're using the family as a front to break up with this guy. Then that brings the question that it's possible that that pregnancy is probably not even for this guy. And that termination they are talking about, they may or may not terminate it. Because it's probably that pregnancy may not even be for this guy, may probably be for somebody else, and the family is really doing the girl a favor to push this girl away. So it's like, young family, go. You see, because you see, it's a bit dicey. If it's one of those things where, let's say, you met the girl randomly, something happened, you don't really know her that well, the family can do all of this. But to date for 3 years and 5 months, and to carry a pregnancy for this person for 5 months, it means that at some point you were at that level of, I want to have a family with this person. And if the baby belongs to this guy, they probably want to terminate it because they want to carry another man's pregnancy to another man. And maybe the other man too feels that the pregnancy is for him. But she, the woman, knows that it's for the first one. So the parents are only doing her a favor by terminating this one. So in future, we'll not deal with any DNA.
So, but why did they collect the money?
No, you see,
it was supposed to serve as a deterrent.
Yes,
but the
so-
guy paid it.
Okay, so now that he's paid and they are pushing him away, they should return them.
See, so I also have a theory.
No, that one is a different thing. You see, but the thing is, you see, the
The
reason...
kwasiebo is that you did not ask us,
You come
and
to
you
steal our
came
destiny.
to take it, and so bring the money is to just to compensate for doing that.
For stealing the house without
for
paying
stealing
rent.
the meat and doing that. Okay, now once you are done, that is when the kwasiebo opens the door for you to now come and do the
discussion.
right thing. So if the family had no intention of doing it, why did they? If
But
they,
does it open the door automatically? The family has to agree after that. Yeah, they can decide not
for
to.
the list and they've said
no.
Yeah, because they didn't give them the list.
So
The fact that you
automatic.
paid doesn't mean what we are
because now you
you've
have to
come
go
on my
through
thing.
the process.
But it doesn't mean that I want you to marry it,
No.
quote unquote.
So after you've
No,
after-
listen, no.
so you
You
pay
see,
them.
no. Is that the thing is that most of the time, once a man gets your daughter pregnant, you wouldn't want to deny your daughter the man because like they're already in there. So if the man is interested, at I think the kwasiebo, most likely you open the door to. But the idea of kwasiebo is that look, you use the thing without asking. It's like you've come to steal my property.
So come and
I have
pay.
caught you. So come and pay for it. It doesn't mean that after paying for it, I'll give you that property. So after you've done the kwasiebo, now the doors are now opened for you to have discussions that, oh, I saw
want to
your
come,
daughter
yes.
and I want to come and marry your
they're
daughter.
knocking.
Then they'll now give you a list. And once they give you the list, they'll do the background checks if they want to da. But most of the time, once the damage has already been done, there's really no incentive to say that I won't let the lady marry you. But the whole agenda, all I'm trying to say is that, look, I smell a big fish in this thing. Because I have a feeling that, look, there's a reason why they want to stop you, but they can't tell you in the face that we just don't want you. And where is the girl in all of this?
And I mean,
in this
that's
day,
the question.
in this day of mobile phones, in this day
Yeah.
of having look, even
on Facebook,
even
Messenger,
on Facebook,
like,
even
there are so many-
even worst case scenario, you even have friends who probably know that the two of you are dating. Even if they've ceased all forms of communication with you and then they've logged
can
in the room,
send someone
somebody
to go and speak.
tell
Yeah.
your this thing that
Charlie,
Charlie, this
wait,
is that. So I have a
suspect.
feeling that look, the lady in question is probably in on this agenda. So all I would say is that look, it's hard enough if a family doesn't want you, but if you can't take that bold step with somebody who cannot fight with you, or who cannot fight for you when the going gets tough. And you see, even when the family didn't want you, cry, like I keep saying that, even under the perfect conditions, cry, no, when you get inside, you experience things. So how much more when some of these things are happening? Yes, your 5,000 loss, no wahala. Your tadpoles are invested somewhere else. You are upset, but if they don't want you, they don't want you. Count your losses. It's going to be very painful and move on. But I have a feeling that this particular lady is in on this agenda. That's what I feel.
Right.
So there are a few key things that stand out for me that tell me about the background of this family.
Right.
5,000 cedis is a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money.
Right.
Now, if you thought that you would charge this man this in Kwasiabo, right?
Yeah.
And it would deter him, then it means that actually you think that 5,000 cedis it's heavy. Exactly. Secondly, yes. Secondly, the fact that they're even thinking or talking about terminating pregnancy or whatever it is, if that's what they're really going to do, that's also a sign of a group of people who, excuse me to say, might not be very enlightened. Do you get where I'm coming from? Thirdly, so that's where I would agree with Rosie, that this must be a family who might have seen a bigger fish.
Right.
There's another man who comes here with some big car. This is the one we want our daughter to marry, not this one. This one was okay for 3 years,
But
5 months, but this one is better.
The robot coin.
So let's fix the place well so that he can now come in. And you see, these things are real. Up until now, we've also
fix the
assumed
place
that
well.
the boy and the gentleman who has sent this message and his girlfriend are of the same social standing. It doesn't sound like that to me. It doesn't sound like that to me. And it sounds like this guy has seen this lady and he wants to take her to a better place. He wants her to experience some of the good things in life, and he's willing to go all out to do that. But I mean, I on that score, I agree with everything you've said. And then let me just hammer this home. Do not go where you are not wanted. Because you see, families like this, let's not even talk about the traditions that hide behind the family, the faces and all that. Somebody can kill you because you prevented them from marrying into a family that could give them a big house or a nice car. Don't even get it twisted. Emotions, yes, 3 years, 5 months, you're looking forward to having this child. Maybe you're a little older and you think that, oh, this is the time to start a family. Do it with somebody who wants you. And again, somebody who has the voice. It might be that the girl is literally and honestly, genuinely being suppressed in all of this, but you also need a woman who has a voice to stand up for you, because when it counts the most, she won't be able to, judging from this. And that is where the problem will come.
I agree. I think, dear gentlemen, you should treat this very seriously. I don't think it's a place you want to be. Go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. And we've seen some before, actually, very close. We've seen some before where a gentleman got married, in 3 months he was dead.
Yeah.
So think through it, and we hope that you take the right decision. We'll go for a quick commercial break. When we return, many more of your messages. And you're welcome back to Sister Sister. If you just joined us, we're on City TV and we're also on City FM. Don't forget, you can like our Facebook page. Look for Sister Sister Live. Send an email also to jessica@cityfmonline.com. And I know lots of people have been sending us messages in our inbox saying, oh, we sent you a question or whatever, you didn't answer. It's because we get quite a number, you can imagine. We're being watched all over the country and beyond, and so we get quite a volume of questions coming through every week, and we try as much as possible to address all of them in good time. So do bear with us if we don't address your message today. Perhaps on the next episode it will be your turn. Thank you very much for that. Now let's go right ahead. A message here says, I've been dating this guy for more than 3 years. In fact, we were planning to get married within the first quarter of 2020. His family likes me so much, and so does mine. Things were pretty on course until 4 months ago he began behaving strange. For the purpose of this conversation, I'll call him Kojo. Kojo was a very jovial person. Until a few months ago, he started distancing himself from me. He was quite moody, and one could tell something was really bothering him. After several arguments, he finally opened up. Apparently, he was involved with another lady he knew for a short while. And worst of all, she's 3 months pregnant for him. My sisters, I'm so disappointed. And his dad told me how disappointed he was in his son too. And that he will respect any decision I take, whether I take him back or cancel the proposed engagement next year. My mother, who has been bedridden for the past few months, doesn't know yet. And my sisters and I intend to keep it that way for now due to her condition. It really hurts me he did this to me, and it's really affected me. Work keeps my mind occupied a bit, but it's not enough. I still love him, and he's been apologizing and crying to me since he told me, and he doesn't want to lose me. I'm confused. What do you ladies suggest I do?
Well, this one too, you've seen some before.
What have you seen before?
In your case, though, you are not married yet. We've seen situations where somebody has been married in the first year of marriage, another woman is pregnant, and then sometimes you are forced to take in the child and raise the child as your own, or very early on, you've become a stepmother to a child who lives away from the home, and you have to bring up your kids who are not yet born, probably not yet even conceived, knowing that they have a sibling somewhere. How do you explain this? Now, here's the thing. It's your choice. You see, when you're married, there are certain situations that you can't walk away from as easily as when you don't have the ring on your finger, when you haven't signed those papers.
Right.
So you need to think about it very carefully. Do you want to be a stepmother, even before you've even been to the altar, before you've even had your own kids, and it will be with the same man? Do you want to do that? Secondly, are you of the school of thought that this man's apology is genuine? Because you see, sometimes people are just sorry that they got caught.
True.
Yes. And that is why he would apologize. Other times, it was a genuine, I don't know, lapse in judgment. I don't want to use the word mistake,
Moment of
because mistake
weakness.
is a different thing altogether. But, you know, moments of weakness, all those things. And you can tell, especially if you've known him for more than 3 years, you can tell if that's the case. Now, the question is, are you willing to accept the fact that somebody may love you even though he's been unfaithful? Is that something you can live with? Because it's not easy. It will take you time to get over it. And he knows the situation in your family. I'm sure your mom is bedridden, fine, but she's looking forward to this moment early in 2020 when she could at least be alive. I imagine that she has some kind of an illness, maybe terminal. She could be alive to witness this marriage of her daughter. You know, I imagine that your family has been preparing for this. They've been rooting you. And for the fact that his father even says he's disappointed in his son. So you have a lot of questions to answer. Work keeps you busy. But you see, should you proceed into the marriage, you go to work and you come home to this man. Can you look him in the eye and deal with the fact that he's done something like this to you? At this point, you go back to your house. You go back to your house. You can sleep on it. You can decide to pick his calls or not, reply his messages or not. But when you're married, you go to the same house, sleep on the same bed. Can you handle that? So she needs to, and then we also don't know who this other woman is. Is she going to let him off easily? Is she the sort of person who's going to be at your house knocking at your gate? Is she going to be demanding huge sums of money? Again, we've seen some before where the other woman is sending her kids to Paris to go and get dental checks because she thinks the guy has money. Your kid is in a public school and then his kid is in an international school. We've seen it all.
Yeah.
You need to be asking yourself these questions. But bottom line, is this someone you still want to spend the rest of your life with? Can you look him in the eye, even at the altar, and say that despite all that you've done, I've forgiven you, I love you, and I want to go on this journey with you? And are you willing to know that you have a child even before you've conceived? Genuine questions you need to ask yourself.
Okay. So first of all, I'll say thank you for sharing with us because it's quite a heavy matter. Just before you get married, there are so many things that keep popping up, and you always think that the world is against you, like making sure that nothing works. But my question is, if you didn't have a clue that your fiance or whoever was cheating on you, not even a speculation, that's scary. The only time anything was given away
Was when he said it.
was when he decided to be moody, because I'm sure he wasn't sure whether should
tell
I
you or
move
not.
on or should I tell you, should I break it apart. He was in that position where he was thinking, hey, this thing is major, major yawa. So what do I do? Should I let this person go? Or if I decide to frown and be moody, maybe this one will get impatient and intolerant and sort of leave, and then I can go with this. I'm just saying that he decided to show you the signs, and that is how you got to know. And then you had to follow up. What is it? Please tell me. Tell me. Before he opens up and says that, listen, this is what's going on. For me, I would say that somebody who realizes that they've made a mistake and they have they have done something against you, if that mistake is irreversible or it's here to live with them and it's evident, they need to own up. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's not something that will go away. It's not something that, like, I dated somebody and the thing didn't sort of work. And so, yeah, or we slept together, nobody had any, I didn't get HIV, I didn't get anything that will affect the relationship. And I'm remorseful and I'm sorry. And the guy has stopped. Like, that's it. But once there's pregnancy, that has come to stay. Once there's sickness, that has come to stay. That can affect both of us. I don't think it should be a plea to hear what is happening. Once it has happened and you know that it's on your lap, I think the person should be forthcoming and tell you that, listen, this is what I have done. I am so sorry. It was one time, it was 5 times. Maybe you don't even say the frequency, but whatever it is, I'm very remorseful, I'm sorry, and this is what has happened. Can you take your time, process it, let me know what you want to do, but I want to be with you. Let the man himself let you know that you can take your time and make a decision. You can do whatever you want to do. He will bear the consequences, but for him, he wants to be with you. If we have something like that, I would say that no matter how your mother is bedridden or looking forward to it, how much preparation you've made or whatever, it is your decision. If you decide not to go ahead with it, it is yours. But if you want to still, you think you can bear the consequences and everything, because let me tell you, there are so many things that happen before marriages and people still think that, oh, if I just let this thing go and we get married, it's better than, and then they end up getting married and every day it's a bone of contention between the two of you. Not knowing what your husband will be doing when you get married, when he goes out and everything, is one hell of a burden
to carry, yeah.
And knowing in the past that he's done something like that, and you will have to accept that he will have to go and see the baby mama sometimes. That child can be sick and he will be in the hospital with the child. He needs to sleep over because the baby mama is also not capable of being alone. Like, there are so many things. So it depends on your capacity as a person. But then, read between the lines. If the gentleman has come to you and said to you first off that, listen, I have made a major mistake, and this is a mistake, that's all it is. And I cannot let go, or she's 3 months pregnant. Charlie, I don't know. It's some way.
Yeah.
All I want to say is that it's your decision to make.
Yeah.
Make sure you are able, whichever decision you take, you are able to carry the burden, or you are able to carry the responsibility that comes with it. Either you go with him and you make it a load on yourself, or you opt out, but for a few months or whatever, people will forget. When you find someone better and someone who deserves you and someone who is more genuine, you see that things are brighter, things are lighter, and things are more fun elsewhere. So,
Rosie,
I would say that you know him. There are certain things that when they accuse Apioko of doing, as that's for this one day, it's not Apioko. There are certain things too. If they say Apioko did it, Sunday, that's, So sometimes people make mistakes. And I don't think that his inability to tell you immediately shows that he's bad or he's hidden something from you or he played for a long time. Because I've seen it play out before where a gentleman just on the spur of the moment, something happened, they met, got excited, ate some food, probably got drunk on food. I don't know what it is.
Drunk on food.
Yeah, I don't know. And you know what? And whatever happened, both of them walked away like, oh, shoot. It shouldn't have happened because I know you're, yes, Charlie, sorry, that kind of thing. Only for the man to be sitting somewhere and then, actually later, okay, Charlie. Yeah, And the fact that the man was moody. You see, if a man who is deliberately cheating and doing some of these things, yes, even maybe it might worry them, but that moody thing where there's something wrong with you is sitting on your very soul, so that everybody can see that it's not okay with you. It means that whatever he did, is really telling on him. That's how I interpret it. Number 2, the fact that he's been bold enough to let his parents in on it. That shows that he went to a higher authority to probably help him when the time comes to beg his prospective wife.
Right.
That's another way I look at it. And number 3, when you finally found out, the parents still respected you, admitted their disappointment with their child, and told you that whatever decision you want to make, they're okay with it. For me, this is a very reasonable family. You understand? Another person will say, so, with the one now kita ring, no worry, no. You marry him, the other child, you won't look after the child, or you bring the child, to be part of yours, or they have
ways of
told you something that would really sit on you. But I think that in all of this, for me, I don't know the man, but I smell. Because no mistake is genuine. I smell a mistake, something that he thought he would do and get away with, probably because he thought he was going to get married. Because something when you're about to get married, you have friends who influence you to do certain things before you can't do it again. Even some people even mess up at the bachelor's night, like the night before, the whole excitement, your boys are drinking with you, then you go and do something silly. That lives with you for the rest of your life. So sometimes I will think that maybe he was caught up in that moment. Now, beyond that, that's when I come to up your call. Ask yourself very genuine, serious questions. Can you be a good stepmother to somebody else's child? That's one. Now, it's not somebody else's child that was there before you came into the picture. Somebody else's child that reminds you of infidelity. Because this child, anytime you see the child, all it reminds you of is I was with him and he went out and had this one. So it's not just another person's child. So can you live with that? And can you genuinely forgive him and not mention it? So when you ask yourself some of these pertinent questions and you can convince yourself that you can live with him, I think that you can forgive him, actually marry him. And if he's a good man, it will be a reason for him to stay chaste to you. But if you don't worry yourself.
All right. Well, it's been quite an episode of some of your conversations, but, don't forget, you can actually always send your messages ahead of time to jessica@cityfmonline.com. We'll be back same time next week with another exciting edition of the show. Thank you very much, ladies. I really appreciate your time. And thanks for watching. Bye. Thank you so much for watching Sister Sister on your favorite City TV. Now, don't forget, if you want some more exciting content, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel. We call it the City Tube. And don't forget to click on the bell to receive notifications for fresh updates.